You can access the entire episode now on our website, forbiddenknowledge.news, Rokfin, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. For the audience that may not be familiar, tell us a little bit about your understanding of Steiner's work when it comes to Lucifer and Ahriman and some of the aspects that are connecting with today.
Okay, so according to Steiner's teachings, those two are some sort of like cosmic forces or entities as well. And their influence is basically like a pendulum swing. So in one epoch of time, for example, Ahriman controls this period of time, and then Lucifer controls the next one, basically. So they alternate in like dominance over different periods of time.
And Lucifer was also in control previously, correct?
Yes, he was in control previously. For example, Steiner said that Lucifer was actually incarnated here on Earth, and he said specifically in China around like 3000 BC or so. So he's all about like spiritualism, right? So maybe he influenced like Buddhism and things like that, and maybe Hinduism and all those like very, very like spiritual religions. But now these days we can see that's going down. There's a change. Not everyone is as religious as they used to be, right? Or even as spiritual. Now
like,
we become
didn't he say
more
the original Lucifer was somewhat responsible for the pagan religions and some of those archetypes?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The pagan religions as well. So basically, even art, for example,
and forms of enlightenment, basically.
Yes. So he has like the cosmic wisdom, but of course we don't have to go to an extreme with that. Yeah, and we can find it even in art. So according to Steiner, sculpture and architecture is more of a Ahrimanic influence because it deals with, you know, the material, like the forms and so on. But you can also have like Luciferian influences incorporated into that as well. So there's like a balance in that aspect as well. And like painting and poetry, they're more Luciferic.
And he didn't necessarily consider Lucifer a negative or demonic being per se. It's just more of a cosmic force, right?
Yes, exactly. So we can look at Ahriman as basically the more evil one, I guess, or you can call him Satan as well, the divider, right? Yeah, whereas like Lucifer wants to pull us out from our bodies and basically overwhelm us with like knowledge and stuff like that, like spiritual knowledge a little too fast for the human evolution. And Ahriman's like the opposite. He wants to pull us back into our material body and just focus on just pure materialism and just pure pleasure and so on. Yeah. So like I said, Lucifer wants to give us knowledge, and it makes us think that, you know, we're better than someone else because we have more knowledge, we're more enlightened than they are, right? So that's the pride of Lucifer that can be looked at as the, you know, the extreme part. So and those are the people that tell everyone that they're enlightened and they have all the answers, and maybe they won't be reincarnated on Earth anymore because they're so advanced and so on. And usually those people are the ones that start like a cult, for example, right? Yeah, like cult leaders and so on. So, and also Steiner said that there is a cosmic clairvoyance that comes from our like solar plexus chakra, and that's how we connect to the collective consciousness of, you know, your city or your country and so on. So if you don't progress with your lower chakras, like below the heart, so the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus, if you don't figure out how to control these lower chakras, like you know, how to control your love and hate for people that you know, or people that are in your environment through your solar plexus chakra. If you don't figure out your how to control your sexual desires, if you don't work on your health, for example, or control and work out your lower consciousness and be able to love everyone no matter how wrong they did you or hurt you or harmed you. If you don't control those, then Ahriman is basically in control of you, because you're not in control of yourself, basically, of your lower aspects, your lower consciousness, and he will influence you too much.
Now, you said that Lucifer, according to Steiner, was incarnated in physical form.
Mm-hmm.
What about Ahriman? Did he foretell that Ahriman would be incarnating in our reality in any physical form, or will he just remain this cosmic force that influences us?
Yes, he will be just like he said, just like Jesus was the basically the consciousness of Christ reincarnated in the man named Jesus. So did Lucifer reincarnate in someone in flesh and blood in China 3,000 years BC, and so will Ahriman incarnate on Earth coming soon. I'm not sure if he's already incarnated or not, but it should be around this period of time. And
it's very interesting how prophetic some of the information that is foretold and what we're seeing today as far as materialism and our infatuation with technology and our worship basically of technology.
Yes, he was so right, because according to him, his teachings all came from a clairvoyant, basically from his clairvoyance. So he downloaded this information from somewhere, and it's pretty crazy how spot on he was, especially with the time periods and so on. And he said also Ahriman will be very liked and respected by people. That's just a trick, basically.
Now, what can we point to as some of the most prophetic information and important information that he foretold about this Ahrimanic age? What are some of the most important that you think we should be discussing?
So Ahriman, first, he's an ancient god, I guess, from Persia, from Zoroastrianism, and he works through fear and feeds on your fear as well, like fear of death, suffering, getting old or ill. So if you don't have those things worked out in yourself, if you're living constant fear of old age, like sickness, or being scared of death, and you think that's the end and so on, then you'll basically live in or do all the 7 deadly sins, for example, your whole life. And if you do that, you won't really ascend into the next higher realm, because you've been a materialist basically your whole life, right? You just focus on materialism, and Ahriman makes us think that there's nothing after death, basically, right? There's no spiritual realm, there's no higher self. You only have to focus on materialism because you have one life, have as much fun as possible, and make as much money as possible.
Well, that's what our whole reality has become. It's all become about materialism, about dead materialism at that. Most people have what they have to look forward to after they work for a slave wage all day and work for practically just the material aspect of being able to pay for their reality, to pay their rent and food, and then go home and maybe enjoy a mindless TV program or some alcohol to numb the senses, and wake up and just do that again. And that's supposed to be a fulfilling life for people, and that's what our reality has become.